I am Mitzi, and I've been doing ACE. I've been teaching it for 7 years maybe, and I attended a school that taught it, so I grew up doing it. I've heard lots of people ask lots of questions about it, so I just thought I'd kind of briefly give an overview about it and maybe some tips and tricks about ways to make it easier. So, okay, right now I'm going to start with this. This is the Record Your Child's Academic Progress. You have to order one of these when you order, but it comes with everything you need for record keeping. It has the Bible stickers, which we'll talk about those. It has the stars, different colors of stars for taking tests. The stars go on the star chart, which it has one of those in there. This is very, very important with this curriculum if you do it the way the curriculum is set up. It also has goal cards for your kids setting their own goals, which is a fabulous part of this curriculum. It teaches you, ACE teaches your kids how to manage their time wisely. I think that's a foundational thing, and I love this curriculum because of that. It really, really, truly not just prepares you for college, but prepares you for life. And if you run your own business, if you work for a boss, it's just so good, so good. Progress report. This is something that you can do or not do. You go through and you keep their grades. On the back, my teachers would always fill this out and give it to my parents, but I had one teacher that sat down and did it with me. So I got to choose, follow directions. Is it excellent, good, satisfactory, or needs improvement? So every quarter you fill out one of these. And so they have the little lines for the different quarters. And I got to choose, and then if I was way off, she'd be like, really? What about last week? You know, and I'd be like, okay, needs improvement. Or most of the time the students try to be a little bit more humble. Our fun one is promote school spirit, because the kids are always like, what does that mean? And I say, well, if people ask if you homeschool, are you like, I homeschool, that's what I do? Or are you like, I homeschool? And you know, and some kids will be like, oh, I love it. And other kids will be like, oh, I'm like, oh, I homeschool. And then, you know, they get a needs improvement. And the next quarter, they come back and see if they're any better at that. So it's kind of fun. Master record sheet. You should have one of these for every kid. This also comes to that envelope. Just a spot. There's some links on Facebook ACE page where you can get this online. I'm going to actually do that this year, but I've been doing it by hand all the years up to this. And then a permanent record. This has everything your kids need to know to give, I believe, to college. Haven't gotten there yet. So when you get your PACEs, a lot of times they come in a package, and you pull the PACE out, and inside that PACE is a PACE test. It's going to be usually look like the front of it. You pull that insert out, pop it out like this, and then you keep this and you give this to your student. You write their names on the outside of it. Anyway, so that's what the student has, and then you have the test. As you go through, you'll hit a checkup. This is an older grade. The first page, let me explain this first. The first page, the student reads to you. So my student will read contents and read all this, and then they know what they're going to be learning. I know what I'm going to be learning. There's a scripture verse in there that they get to memorize, so they read that out loud too. As you go through each PACE, I'm just trying to kind of give a brief overview. Hopefully I'll have time to talk about this later in other videos. As you go through each PACE, this is just the reading one. As you go through each PACE, you get to a checkup. Will be the first kind of test they have, and the checkup just checks to see if they know everything that they've learned so far. So all the blanks that they filled out when you get to the checkup, they go through and they fill this out without looking back, and then they score it and let you know if they're actually getting the concept of the PACE. There's 3 checkups in each PACE, and then at the very end of the PACE, there's a self-test. And the self-test just really, it's an overview over all the checkups over the whole PACE. So the self-test, they answer the questions on that without looking back, and then they score it. I score everything after my kids score it, just to keep the integrity really high, and it's really good the way we do it. I'll talk more about that on another video. So the after the self-test, then the next day can't be the same day because they need a day. And that gives them a chance to study for the PACE test. Then they study for the PACE test, and you give them this the next day. They don't score it, you score the PACE test. And then their grades are recorded on your master record sheet. And you can also write them on the outside of it. I usually do both just to make sure that I have a good feel for everything, and I have double records that way. Okay, so star charts, let's talk about this. You put their name up here, and then every time they take a test, they get a star. So what comes with your sheet is a bunch of little stars in every color. They have math, English, word building, social studies, science. They have silver and gold in here as well. The silver, I think you can use like the gold for 100% or the silver for 100%. I buy bigger stars from Walmart and the Dollar Tree. We use that for 100%. Here's an example. So, you know, here's less than 100%, here's 100%. So you can see the stars that are 100%. And then I use, for Bible or literature, I use the gold and the silver. These charts are so awesome if you use them. The kids get a kick, no matter what age, get a kick out of getting stars and seeing how many big stars they get. It's just, you think it's one more step, but it actually really works. Mostly because they do 12 paces a year. So on each section there should be 3 paces. Here she had 2 paces that she did there, and then she did 4 paces over here. So she caught up, which is really, really awesome. Then 3 paces down here, 3 paces down here. We had a rough year this year because we did not pay attention to our star charts. There was stuff that I should have caught, like there's only 1 social studies here, and then there's 3 here. That should have meant that over Christmas we need to do 2 extra paces. I didn't catch that this year. So it ended up being a really rough end of the year. So all that just to say that this can help prevent a lot of getting behind, especially if you have a lot of children that you're trying to keep track of. Checking over this every quarter. This year we're going to do something with Dad where we sit down and every quarter we sit down and we look over what we're doing and we're seeing if we're on track or maybe ahead. Just get encouragement in that. The Bible stickers down here, Bible memory. ACE does it every 3rd week, I think. They have some stuff on their site, but how they do it, what I do is I have a book, and every week they have to memorize 2 scriptures. If they memorize it on Monday or Tuesday, they get a special sticker, which are these. You can order them from ace.com. I haven't found anywhere else to order them. Actually, I was given these from by a school because I don't like paying shipping. And then these Bible stickers, the regular ones, come in this package. Oh, no, they come in with this stuff. They're still around here somewhere. Anyway, so that's what I did for years. And then they just got a check mark if they did it on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. It just kind of gives them encouragement to get it done at the beginning of the week. ACE is so good at just giving encouragement. If you do this, you get this. If you don't do this, well, you don't get that privilege. Anyway, so that is just a brief overview of the star chart, grading, how to get your paces, what to pull out of. The goal cards, really important. I'll talk more about this, but having the kids set their own goals. We do school 4 days a week. We do 5 pages every day for 4 days a week. You could do 4 pages every day for 5 days a week. That keeps you on track with getting done in the 4 quarters that they have available. So it's just really a great curriculum for getting kids motivated and setting it up so that you don't have to be standing over them saying, hey, let's do this. Hey, we need to do this right. Hey, don't forget. We can't go to the zoo if you don't have this. Like, all the awards are already set into the curriculum if you use it right. So I've been very impressed with this curriculum for homeschooling and for public school. And I hope you guys are too.